you to know that this kid's book I'm about to read, 0 input from AI. I just want you to know that. It might be the last kid's book ever written. That is not just all AI slop. But 0 AI here. We do have plagiarized pictures, though. So, we're not selling this. We're not putting it out there because these are not originals. And so we've got some pictures that are going to be up here for you to watch. But we hope that this story in rhyming AAVB scheme will help you to celebrate Christmas and consider the story of the wise men. So some of these rhymes, I'm going to warn you adults, they might be a stretch. I was working pretty hard to make them work. So if you appreciate it, if you think it works, I need you to let me know. I need you to give me a little bit of encouragement and say, so good. Or if it's not, you know what? You choose what you do there. Come on over, you guys. Come sit down by the fire. Kids Church reminds me every week, hey, we need to pay for YouTube Premium so that we don't have ads. And I said, no, we don't need to. We can't afford it. And then you can see every once in a while an ad will come up and I will have to hit through it. So let this be a reminder that the giving box is in the back there. If you would like to help us have YouTube Premium, you can play a part in that. And then, Christina, I'll try not to move too fast, but I'm going to have to keep you with me here. All right, kids, I've got a book for you guys. Sienna, Rowan, Ebony, Lydia, Quinn, Noel. I wrote this book just for you guys. Do you like rhymes? Wow. Here it comes. This is the story of the wise men. There were wise men called Magi by name. At Jesus' birth, they were the faithful who came. They came from the east, from far, far away, across Iran and Iraq. They traveled by night and by day. They heard of a king the prophets had told, a child worth the long journey, worth more than their gold. They studied the prophets 500 years before, from Daniel, who taught them at Babylon's shore. He spoke of a Messiah that God promised to send. Those words they remembered and held to the end. When you think it's not worth it, I won't tell them about God. Just remember the wise men who never forgot. That works, right? Come on. Give me some credit for that one. You don't know who is listening or how far they might roam, what kind of worship your words might bring to a home. So never stop sharing. Don't think it's a waste. God grows seeds in hearts in his own perfect pace. They remember God's promise he made long ago. A star in the west. Look at that. Time to go. Lydia, are you looking at this? Look at my book. Lydia, I wrote this for you. Okay. I'm proud of this one, you guys. Was it a star out in space or an angel of light? I don't know. Either way, it was God. They were right. Is astrology evil and Satan make you bound? It's probably not good, but God saves from all kinds of backgrounds. So they packed up their camels and headed out west. A long, difficult journey, but seeking God's always best. They traveled for months, maybe even a year, through the heat and the cold, because Jesus was dear. Historians say Herod stood only 4'6". It's unsafe to be his son. You'd rather be one of his pigs. That is an actual quote from the historian Josephus, just so you know. 6 pigs, that works. Are you guys reading? Do you like my book, Lydia? Someone asked me today before service, have you ever had to discipline one of your children during a Sunday service? And I had answered them no. Hey, Lydia. Lydia, do you want to sit on my lap? Okay. He was angry to hear the Magi wanted to praise. A new king in his land sent him into a craze. So he called for his leaders and prophets and priests, and they said, yeah, we knew about this. It's in Micah, we thinks. The leaders all knew what the prophets had said. Bethlehem is the place. In Micah 5:2, they read. They knew the facts and could quote every word, but didn't care to go see what the Magi had heard. For seeking the Lord is more than just knowing. It takes moving your feet to where God's light is glowing. I was pretty proud of that one, too. The Magi went miles, the Jewish priests went none. Don't let that be you before Christmas is done. The wise men came to worship with joy, but Herod's heart was small. He planned to hurt and destroy. The wise men found Christ without sharing his location. They were cunning and wise and deserve a standing ovation. All right, Lydia, Quinn, let's see it. Standing ovation, clap. Good job. That's the standing ovation. Okay, we're not done. That was a helpful separation there. They found Mary and Joseph. I'm still where I'm at. I can't stop. Okay, you can sit down now. You can sit down. Lydia, sit down. Let's read this. They found Mary and Joseph and Jesus at last. By this time, scholars think about 2 years had passed. So they weren't in a stable. Jesus was not in the hay. But the best day to worship is the day we call today. They knelt before Jesus with the best gifts they could give. It was selfless, Christ-focused. That's how we're supposed to live. They didn't come asking Jesus for things they could get. They came just to give worship, to give praise, and to submit. That worked, right? I was supposed to pronounce get, but I said get. We'll get them again next time. Their gifts have great meaning we see in God's Word. Let's open them up and see what can be incurred. Gold. Hey, do you see this gold, Lydia? Quinn, do you see the gold on here? You're right. Gold, one said, you're the king lifted high. If we believe in you, we will never die. We stole all this gold when Babylon had invaded, used temple goblets for parties Belshazzar had raided. Right? How many kids' books have Belshazzar in them? Come on. Frankincense, because you're a priest to whom none can compare. It was burned as temple incense, rising up like a prayer. Myrrh is used when God's prophets were rejected. We know what actually happened to God's prophets, parents, so they can't read. I put the real word up there. You'll need it for 3 days before you're resurrected. For Jesus alone could all three roles be in one, the prophet, priest, king, and even God's son. All right, last page, you guys. You see this picture here? What show is that from? Do you know about VeggieTales? God used these wise seekers from faraway lands to put wealth and resources in Mary and Joseph's hands. Because next they would run from Herod's violent-powered trip, they would need lots of gold for hotels in Egypt. Like Magi, seek Jesus with all of your heart. You don't have to go far, but you do have to start. For those who seek Jesus will surely find him. For those who seek Jesus, his light is not dim. Merry Christmas. Is Kids Church always like this? Well, you guys did so good reading that first book, kinda. But we're still going to give you a snack, and we have one more book for you to read. Do you want a snack? Yes, okay. So we're going to get our snack up here, and Nick's coming on up already, and you guys are going to get a second book. And then, for our second story here, Nick has written it about Joseph, the quiet saint. Joseph, Jesus' father, who's often forgotten about. And so for this, one, because we need a little help, but we would also, just for sake of the story, like to invite all of the fathers up here. If you're a father with a child, come on up and sit